In Australia, we produce some of the best mushrooms, just like these button mushrooms. And the best thing about them is they're available all year round. And I love to use them not just to add to meat style dishes, but actually use them instead of meat. Just like this one pot mushroom risoni dish. It is a standout. So I've just been chopping up my mushrooms. These were quite large button mushrooms, so I've just cut them in half. I don't wash my mushrooms. I also leave the skins on them. If you do see a little bit of dirt, that's totally normal. Just brush it off, but no need to wash them. So I've got about 500 grams of the mushrooms here. I've been preheating a pot and I want a good glug of extra virgin olive oil. And we want to sear them off and get a little bit of colour on our mushrooms. So in they go. Just grab a wooden spoon and just coat them in that oil while they start to cook. Now, there are so many different ways that you can interpret this mushroom and risoni one pot wonder. You could make it into a bit of a stroganoff style by adding some sour cream to it, but I'm actually going to give it a bit of a Turkish twist by adding some Aleppo pepper and some dried mint. It is such a great addition to a mushroom dish like this. Mushrooms are like a vehicle to all types of flavours, so you can be quite adventurous with what you're going to add to it. All right, let's have a look at this. These are looking good. See how fast they cook down. Time to add one onion that's been finely chopped. And I'll also add a knob of butter. I am going to add some more butter later on just to produce a beautiful glossy sauce. Some garlic, I've just minced that. And this is a really interesting ingredient. This is a red pepper paste, used a lot in Turkish food. If you can't find this, harissa works a treat. Even just some chili flakes are great too. So we'll add that to this dish, along with Aleppo pepper, a lovely addition to this dish. It's not too spicy at all. It's got a beautiful sweetness to it too. I'm gonna leave some for a garnish later on. And tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And we'll just cook that off in our mushrooms. Okay, in with some dried mint. And not to be mistaken with fresh mint. The dried mint has much more of a dominant flavour and that's why I add it to the stew. All right, going to cover this with some stock. I'm using a vegetable stock for this to keep it 100% vegetarian. So completely cover the mushrooms. In fact, you want a little bit more of that stock so it almost looks soupy, because this is going to thicken up later with risoni, which is just that tiny pasta that we all know so well. So this is going to come up to the boil. Then I'm going to add the risoni and just continually stir it, almost like it's a risotto, until it's thick and completely cooked through. All right, look how thick and rich this is. It looks fantastic. And you can see how hearty mushrooms are. They really hold their shape throughout that cooking process. The pasta or the risoni, it's cooked perfectly. It's not too thick and it's not too runny. It's just right. Now, the final touches, I'm going to add a few more knobs of butter, and I think a hint of cream would actually work quite nicely here. Just a splash. And mix that through. It's just going to give it a slight creaminess, which is really lovely with our mushrooms. All right, last thing I'd like to add is a good squeeze of lemon juice. Okay, and we are ready to have a taste of this. So I'm using a shallow bowl and a generous ladleful of this risoni stew. Perfect consistency. I love the addition of some fresh parsley just to finish it off. We'll just finely chop that. And then we'll sprinkle that over. And this is why one pot wonders never go out of fashion. They're super fast to put together. If you're coming home from work, you can make this within 20 minutes. And it's hearty and tasty. Mushroom risoni in a Turkish-inspired sauce. Delicious.